In this world, each person can eat only a single fruit, which grants an ability that defines their entire future. Some guarantee power, fame, and status, while others can ruin an entire life. Light believes he received a useless ability, but what he does not yet know is that this weak ability hides the secret capable of breaking all the rules of the universe. Do not forget to leave a like and comment on your favorite fruit. And this is how the story begins. His friend Lena asks what abilities he wants to receive. Light wishes for one that helps in combat. After all, his goal is to become a powerful adventurer. Today is the big day. He is going to eat his fruit. Thinking that his dream will finally become reality makes him very excited. Lena wishes for something that will let her work together with Light, and for the two of them to travel together. But no one knows what ability they will have until they finally eat the fruit. While Lena is very nervous, he still remains confident. After that, Light appears in an orchard. His desire to be an adventurer was ruined on the day he received the fruit. On that day, 3 months ago, the Holy Sister explained that they would eat special fruits. Each ability will provide a different type of profession. However, there is only one rule they must never break. The fruit must be eaten only once. Anyone who eats it a second time will be poisoned and will die. Countless fools who did not like the ability they received died after ingesting a second fruit. Everyone who wants to become an adventurer knows this, including Light. Without a combat-type ability, you cannot even begin. There are several references who possess incredible powers, and he wants to be like them. That said, now it is time to start a new life. The first is Lena. After eating, she feels her body become very hot. She received the ability called Sword Saint, something extremely rare that even shocked the Holy Sister. Lena is a chosen adventurer whom everyone had been waiting for. She hopes that Light will get something similar. However, unfortunately, his ability is trash. Light became the fruit master. He can harvest more than normal, and the cultivation time is reduced. It is the worst ability for combat. He begs to try again, but the Holy Sister knows he will die. Lena tries to help him, saying that she will also harvest fruits and together they will make an immense orchard. But the Holy Sister makes it clear that sword saints like Lena appear only once every decade. For the good of the nation, she must work as an adventurer and move to the Holy City immediately. With no choice, she leaves, saying she will wait for Light. Since then, he has been harvesting fruits to eat and to earn some money, managing to make them bigger using his magic. After harvesting them, it is time to sell. If he could use his ability on other plants, he would have much more profit, but it only works on fruits. What a useless ability. Meanwhile, his attractive friend is promoted to S-rank adventurer in record time. When he turns around, he comes across two youngsters. The boy says that when he grows up, he will be an adventurer. He remembers his friendship with Lena, which is becoming more and more distant. Light becomes upset, and he wants to become an adventurer like her. Even without a combat ability, he wants to find some way. His goal is to cut the trunk in half to prove his strength. Obviously, he failed. He is not strong enough. Lena has probably even already forgotten his face and his name. His gloomy moment is interrupted by Isla, who brought water. For certain reasons, he recently took her in after the village chief pushed her onto him. Now they are living together, and it is better for both of them not to talk much about it. Anyway, they are now a team and share household tasks. Isla says that dinner is ready and calls him home. Light tells her that the harvest was very good, especially the ability fruits. Recently, he began to focus on planting them and saving money to buy a decent sword. He separated the fruits into boxes that make it clear what will happen if they are eaten. What he did not expect is that Isla would chop the fruits and put them into the stew. He cannot believe it and starts yelling at her. How did this foolish girl not look at the symbol on the box? Even if they looked delicious, that does not justify it. Light remembers the Holy Sister saying that he would die if he ate again. His body begins to feel hot in the same way as that day. He thinks it is the end, while Isla is desperate. In his final moments he apologizes, since it was his fault for not explaining about the ability fruits. But nothing happens. Soon we see that the Holy Sister is watching everything. Light does not understand what happened. It may be that Light is special. Suddenly, Isla begins to feel her body hot as well. She analyzes Light's powers, saying that he can nullify the poison of any fruit. He does not know where she got that from. While Isla states she is seeing Litras saying this, his ability is unique. He can eat as many fruits as he wants, and after eating this one he gained the power of the god of the sword. When he uses a sword, his attack power increases drastically, and his magical resistance also increases. Isla acquires an appraisal-type ability that can see anyone's abilities. Light goes out to test his powers and finally manages to cut the trunk in half with ease, becoming the first person in the world to have 2 abilities. The next day, in the city, Isla is starving for a pizza. Light knows there is no time for that, and they leave right away. They enter a very busy place. It is an adventurer's guild. Light is clearly happy. It has always been his dream to go there. He explains to Isla that by completing missions they receive a reward, which allows them to buy good equipment and tasty food. But they did not come for that. They came to test the powers of the God of the Sword and understand how far it will help Light in a real battle. The goal is to join some adventurers and, if possible, stand by Lena again. He asks Isla to sit while she waits for him, and he goes to the reception to take a mission as soon as possible. She notices that there are many strong people in this place. Everyone has different abilities, and even though there are many people, the only one with 2 abilities is Light. With this appraisal power, she will gather information to be useful to him. Martial arts, seduction. There are many skilled people out there. Light already starts getting into trouble. After bumping into a guy, the man starts grumbling, mocking Light for being the guy who sells fruits in the market, and telling him to go away and suck a banana. Isla arrives and both of them realize it is already time to leave. The man gets irritated at being ignored. When he draws his sword, Light puts him in his proper place. His name is Jenny, who noticed Light's power and practically soiled his pants. He lies that he was holding back, and the group makes up an excuse to get out of there. Light tells her that he got a job, and they can already carry it out together. Finally, Light is going to face some monsters. He makes it clear that it is a dangerous job and Isla must stay behind him. She analyzes that the slime has very high defense. Light charges forward, cutting the slime in half. Part of the ground is also destroyed, so he realizes he needs to learn to control his strength. If they take part of the slime as proof, they can exchange it for money. Isla felt a bit sorry for the little slime, but changed her mind since they will be able to buy 10 pizzas. Jenny, on the other hand, is having serious problems. It was supposed to be his first battle, and he is already facing a gigantic ogre. From afar, Light asks if they are okay. The group starts running toward him to bring the monster over. With no choice, he sees a good opportunity to prove his power. Isla warns that the ability does not increase physical defense, so Light has to dodge, determined to reach the cute blonde. He rushes toward the creature, finishing it off. Light is happy for having succeeded. Isla asks if he is okay. The Fruit Master and the God of the Sword actually make a great combination. The cowardly group keeps wondering who this guy is. They return to the guild reception, bringing part of the slime and an ogre horn. Jenny envies Light's power, while his friends confirm that he really defeated the creature. It is impressive for a novice to have destroyed an ogre, and they know it. Suddenly, the crowd noticed the S-rank group called the Sacred Ones, highlighting Lena as the best among them. Light approaches her, happy that they have met, but she says she does not even recognize him. Everyone was enchanted by her. He cannot believe she really forgot about him. Isla asks if they know each other and wants to leave soon to eat the promised pizza. Finally, she can eat the long-dreamed-of margarita. Even tired, Light devours everything and ends up choking, and soon a stranger gives him water. It is Lena. She seems covered up, hiding from Grouse, the leader of the sacred group. The three sit together and begin to talk. She introduces herself to Isla and asks what she is to Light. He yells, asking what she is doing there. Lena tells him to speak quietly and asks what he is doing at the guild. Light explains that he has now become an adventurer together with this partner Isla. It is a long story. After telling it, Lena is happy that he fulfilled that dream. He says he will catch up to her and asks what it is like to be part of the sacred group. She says it is not as easy as it looks and that she was forced to join the group chosen by the Holy Sister. The pay is excellent, but the environment is terrible. Light should stay away from them. That is why she pretended not to know him. The Sacred Ones are an exceptional group. They destroy creatures easily, using magic and powers. Even with the flames going straight toward the crops, they did not care at all. The farmers were very sad while the group did not care, claiming that their job was to destroy the creature. Otherwise it would end up killing many people. She tried to tell the Holy Sister that this was not right. Because of the group, the fields of many residents were destroyed. Even so, the Holy Sister said that history will only remember the Sacred Ones destroying the serpent. No one will care about what happened to the farmers. Light invites her to join his group. If she is not satisfied in the Sacred Ones, she knows she cannot do that, so she refuses with tears in her eyes. After that, she leaves, making him unable to understand what happened. After that, the receptionist thanks them for waiting. Finally, they can collect the reward for defeating the ogre. 10,000 gold coins. The job was fantastic, and she hopes the two of them take more again. Isla notices that Light did not look very happy. He is worried about the way Lena was acting. Well, if he wants to know what the Sacred Ones are up to, Isla suggests he go to one of them, who is right over there drinking a glass of wine with two attractive women. They also want to join the Sacred Ones and ask Grouse to tell them more about the monsters he killed. He says that today was nothing out of the ordinary. The mission was to hunt an evil brown bear. While they used flames to paralyze it, Grouse killed the creature with his sword. Suddenly, the receptionist arrives with a complaint from the residents, saying that the flames dried up the reservoir. Grouse asks her to tell them all to get lost. The Sacred Ones defeated a monster and did what was requested. As skilled as they are, these small sacrifices are inevitable. Light suddenly arrives, demanding that Grouse release Lena, claiming he heard the entire conversation. She would never tolerate those attitudes. He thinks Light is one of her angry fans. The guards grab him while Grouse says the room is only for S-rank adventurers. Isla asks what happened in there. Jen's companions know that going against Grouse will not help at all. It will only irritate the Holy Sister, turning her into an enemy. That way, it will become very hard to make a living as an adventurer in the country, since she is the center of everything. After that, the Sacred Ones admire the equipment provided by the Holy Sister. It was immense luck that they managed to get those incredible abilities. Lena can only think about Light's invitation, so she tells Grouse that she wants to leave the guild. She cannot continue like this and wants to be an adventurer guided by her own principles. But he stops her, thinking she wants to challenge him. Even with her ability being the Holy Sword, she would not even be able to touch him. He slaps her across the face, saying that pain accompanies glory. Until the day of their deaths, they will save the world together. After that, they leave. She knows that if she endures this, she may save more people. Light blocks their path, calling Grouse by name, stating he is there to take his companion Lena to hunt some monsters together. She had told him not to interfere, but Light did not forget the promise they made when they were children that they would become adventurers together. There is no way anymore. She already belongs to the sacred group, so he sees no other option but to challenge Grouse to a duel. If he refuses, he will be afraid of losing, so Grouse accepts. And the challenge is for Lena's freedom. If Light loses, he will be banned from the Adventurers Guild forever. Lena tries to stop him, but he is 100% confident. His opponent's ability is divine speed. People start to fight. Grouse thinks Light is lying when he says he has two abilities. The leader of the group is very fast. The crowd thinks it will be very easy for him. That ogre was nothing compared to Grouse. Even so, Light keeps resisting. After Light has his sword broken, Grouse says he can spare his life if Lena obeys him forever. Even so, he remains confident, knowing he will win. Seeing that he is without a sword, he asks for a broom to defend himself. All he needs to do is have hope and pretend it is a lethal weapon. Using his instinct, he manages to hit Grouse in the face with blows, and no one can believe that Grouse was defeated by broom strikes. In the end, Light says that any other member of the Sacred Ones who gets involved will meet the same fate. Lena is now free and can adventure on her own. Now the blonde will fall right into his arms and join the group. After a week, they are back in the orchard, taking care of the fruits. But this time it is the orchard at Lena's house. Now they are living in her house, and she calls them for breakfast. Light is already healed from the battle and, starting today, can accompany them on adventures. He is happy, since the life of an adventurer is comfortable and easy. Suddenly, a blue-haired boy arrives, saying that the Holy Sister is calling Lena to talk about the departure of the Sacred Ones. She refuses the invitation. In this case, Lena will not receive the same treatment she used to receive in the Rankus group. At the guild, the jobs the group receives are very poor and basic, such as exterminating rats, fixing roofs, and rescuing kittens. Being enemies of the Holy Sister has a price, and Light noticed this, but she remains confident, accepting the basic jobs with the hope of growing. The civilians are delighted with her. They never imagined that Lena would appear in such a poor district. The abilities of both of them are incredible. They are excellent with the sword, and they obtained the materials very quickly. After finishing the missions, they received only 100 gold coins. At least it is enough to eat 3 pizzas. Lena, even while doing these small tasks, feels that she is somehow helping the people who truly need it. Light also had fun thanks to her. They gather for a ceremony, making an oath and wishing for luck on their journeys. It is an adventurer's custom. and they take the opportunity to name the group Luxuria, which means incomplete light. The Holy Sister is talking with her subordinate. She will give an S-rank job to Luxuria to test their capability, and they doubt light from Isla. Believing that only Lena will survive, they leave for the mission. The fog hinders their vision, and they cannot see where they are going. According to the map, it should be that way. The horse is startled, and they come across a large abandoned palace that is right beneath them. After that, they went to the guild, where the receptionist gave this mission to them. She does not know whether there truly is any monster in that place. 2 months ago, everything began. A group of adventurers went to the region of the Valley of the Dark Mountains to determine the number of monsters there. But all of them disappeared, and the 18 adventurers sent to find them also vanished. Light realizes that they are very powerful adventurers. Upon seeing their photo, Lena says that they taught her many things back when she was only starting with the house. No one knows anything about what might be happening. All of this remains a very dark mystery. The only information is that all of them headed to the house where the former king of the mountains lived. 30 years ago, after making a fortune as an adventurer, he built this enormous palace. No one knows what ability he possessed. He passed away, and the mansion has been abandoned ever since. Their mission is to find the missing adventurers and determine what caused this. Lena does not think it is fair at all, since higher-ranking adventurers did not return alive. Even so, the receptionist has no control over the mission ranking. She realizes that something is not right. This job is extremely dangerous and can only be the work of the Holy Sister. But Light is very excited and accepts it gladly. Then she knows that the reward will pay for many pizzas. The receptionist does not understand. How did a little girl eat a skill fruit? Light says it was an accident, and she is very reliable. They are getting closer to the castle. The house is enormous, and adventurers really earn a lot of money. Lena is proof of this, having managed to buy a huge house in only a few months of work. This is still only a dream for Light. One day he still wants to build a gigantic house with a large farm and training fields. Suddenly, Isla gets excited and ends up falling. They try to hold her and end up falling together. At the last second, Light manages to use his sword to propel them upward before touching the ground. No one was injured, but now they are surrounded by several monsters. They are adventurers who were killed and turned into zombies. Isla analyzes that if they bite the living, they will transform. Because they are bodies of adventurers, all the monsters also possess abilities. Light cannot bear the idea that he is going to kill his fellow adventurers. One of them charges, and Lena cuts him down. While disappearing, his soul thanked them for finally being free. She understands Light's hesitation, but they cannot leave them as monsters forever. They run into the mansion, where there may be survivors, but they only find even more creatures. Light thinks Lena's power is incredible. She strikes all the creatures in their weak points. Besides being very fast, her attacks are precise. The Sword Saint and the Sword God are almost equal abilities. However, the God is stronger. Lena is several steps ahead of Light, but he knows he can reach her if he trains a lot. Isla is attacked, but Lena saves her. Fascinating. Lena managed to strike exactly through the gap in the armor. They must pay attention. Besides destroying the monsters, they need to protect Isla. Light realizes that the missing adventurers were 18, but up to this moment they have already seen many more than that. Probably, before they arrived, there were already zombies in the region. They proceed to investigate the place and come across the portrait of the king of the mountain. Soon we see that a young woman was already waiting for their presence. In the group surrounded by several monsters in the corridor, Light noticed that the monsters on this floor act differently. They are stronger and more intelligent, as if they had their own consciousness. Isla's assessment says that they are being controlled. They notice several magical threads that serve to transmit power, meaning that the one responsible for all of this must be in the same direction. They open the door and find a ballroom. There they meet Dratna. If the group is called Black Swan, she has waited a long time for this moment. Dratna is part of the elite of the forces of darkness. Light is happy to have found someone alive, but she does not look like an adventurer. Her ability is called necromancy, which allows her to control monsters of the corpse and spirit type, and she can use the exclusive abilities and characteristics of whoever is being controlled. Her objective is to kill a fruit master. Light questions why she wants to kill him. She is only obeying orders from someone superior and cannot reveal more than that. He realizes that she already knew they would come. While Lena has never heard of the Black Swan group, the Luxurias are attacked and destroy each monster one by one. Lena is forced to fight her former training companions, who possess exceptional abilities. Isla ends up talking too much and annoys Dratna. Light defends her, but there are too many monsters. Fighting and protecting Isla is a very difficult mission. Lena remembers that her companions were the first to talk to her when she arrived. The two congratulated her when she rose in rank. Thanks to their help, she cuts the thread that controls them, but she cannot save them. They thank her for trying, but there is no salvation. The best thing to do is to end it quickly and painlessly. No matter how many Light kills, they simply do not stop coming. So he wonders where they are coming from, since the mansion has been abandoned for years and there is no cemetery or battlefield. There should not be so many dead around there. There must be some reason for this, and they need to find out. Dratna says he is much smarter than she imagined, and that she likes intelligent men. However, Isla is only getting in the way, and she must leave. Attacking a little girl is cowardice, yet even so Dratna shows no mercy. It is becoming increasingly difficult for Light to defend his friend, so she must hold tightly onto his back. The battle is tense. Lena wants to finish as quickly as possible to return to her team. Light asks Isla to discover the origin of these zombies that do not stop appearing. They need a place that gives a wider view for analysis. She is quite heavy, since she ate many pizzas, so Light will not be able to hold on to the ceiling for long. She notices a zombie using the summoning ability. It is the king of the mountain. Dratna realizes that they have already discovered the plan. Soon they notice the Soul Reaper, who is turning all of them into zombies. You cannot touch his scythe or his slime, otherwise you will transform. Dratna's only role is to control them, making them do what she wants. Light finally understood what happened. People began to disappear because the king summoned the Soul Reaper, who started turning the adventurers. Light does not understand why such a successful king would summon a monster like that. Dratna says that Light only sees the beautiful things in the world, but it is not always like that. There are some abilities that make others hate you just for having them. That was the case of the King of the Mountains. At first, people praised him as a hero with a wonderful power, but they were overtaken by fear, thinking that the king could use that power to command the people, summoning monsters and cursing the entire place. After that, everyone started to distance themselves from him, and in the end, the king was falsely accused of treason. So he isolated himself in this castle alone. Even so, they did not stop sending assassins to try to kill him. And the king summoned the Soul Reaper to drive out the intruders. All the adventurers who came to this place had the objective of destroying the king, not investigating what was happening. Now enough talk. Dratna will destroy everyone while playing with her puppets. Light reflects on whether the world would celebrate his ability to possess every possible power. Maybe he would be excluded and follow the same path as the king. But now is not the time to think about that. He must focus on protecting Isla. Light noticed something strange when watching the movements of the zombies. Until they receive new instructions from Dratna, they can only repeat the same attack. This made it easier for him to predict the movements and destroy them all in Sword God style. Lena destroys the Reaper and makes it clear that she does not want to kill her. She only needs answers. At the end, Light destroys the king, and before dying, he warns that Light will also hate abilities one day. Dratna has one last trick. Before the king departs, she makes him use his final burst of power, summoning a gigantic creature called the Evil Dragon. The monster throws Dratna far away and wants to kill everyone. Lena thought dragons were a myth, since they were targets of the highest level hunts. Not even rank S adventurers try, and Isla knows that even if they join forces, they will not be able to destroy it, because the dragon is resistant to slashing attacks. Light ignores the escape instructions and charges toward the creature. He is almost hit by a fireball, and his strikes have no effect at all. Lena wants to make sure the two of them escape, even if they cannot win. But Isla has an idea. Light must bet on a new ability. Dratna is proud, because before the king died he summoned one of the most powerful monsters that exist, and not even she can control it. After fainting, a secret ninja appears to rescue her. Isla explains to them that she brought the fruits in case of emergency, and Light explains that he is immune to the fruit's poison. Lena disapproves of this crazy idea, but it is the only thing they can do at the moment. She knows it will not necessarily be a good ability, and he may end up getting a dud that hinders the sword god. Yet he does not listen. He gains resistance to insects and gets angry when he discovers that the dragon is not one, so he will have to eat again. While Lena distracts the creature, Light will eat 2 fruits at once. Cat Charmer and weapon durability increase, useless things against the dragon. He begins to feel the side effects of eating 2 fruits at the same time. His next ability has to be useful. Lena is suffering in the battle. After she is thrown away, Light eats the fruit for the last time and charges to attack. The Holy Sister watches everything, and Light's new ability makes any creature fall asleep when inhaling the fairy dust. The dragon tries to resist, pushing the dust away before it reaches his nose. The fairy can reach up to 3 meters away, so Light will have to get a little closer. He grabs his broken sword and destroys the roof so he can climb the debris. The dragon finally falls asleep, and they flee from there before the entire mansion collapses. It was close. Now they can already receive the reward to eat something tasty. Light is eager to get home soon. The soldiers notice Lena and let the group in. Light makes it clear that they only managed to win because of Isla. When he goes to thank Lena, he ends up fainting. Soon we see that the ninja left Dreitna with the Holy Sister. He tells her he was surprised by Light's powers, who managed to defeat an evil dragon. But he presents no threat to them. Even so, she knows he is a special boy and must be watched. While Light is unconscious, Isla and Lena enjoy the time alone. It is the perfect moment to relax doing what they like. Lena congratulates her for being very helpful. Isla can already manage very well without Light, and she is sure he would be proud of their teamwork. After that, he appears saying he is not dead and left because he got thirsty and bored, but they insist that he needs to stay in bed, since he ate 4 ability fruits. Even after staying in bed for 2 straight days and his fever having already gone down, he cannot lower his guard. Light is happy to be eating well. They prepare a great feast for him. The two go on a mission without him. They received a mandatory summons from the Adventurers Guild and need to tell more about the appearance of the dragon. He can try as much as he wants, but they will not let him go. Isla will tell everything in his place, and this only makes him more worried. Upon arriving at the guild, they discover that they will have to wait 2 hours before going to the meeting room. Lena complains about the time, but the receptionist informs them that the one who called them is busy at the moment and adds that Isla will not be able to participate because she is underage. She did not officially register as an adventurer. Even so, she will register now. While the other adventurers judge her, Isla asks Lena if she should leave, since unlike the others they do not have the proper equipment. Lena makes it clear that she has a great ability that is very useful in battles, but she understands that for children at that age it is important to look stylish, and while they wait for the meeting, they will buy some equipment for Isla to use. Light remains in boredom, and the two head out to spend money. Isla chooses a suspicious store that seems to sell counterfeit things. She cannot assess only by abilities like a diamond either. While Lena thinks everything is fake, Isla realizes it is a real diamond. Not even the seller believes it, and he is selling it for a ridiculously low price. Lena buys it as a present for her little sister by affection, and they head to the clothing store. Before she can explain that the outfit is for Isla, the saleswomen grab Lena and make her change clothes. After trying on some very flashy pieces, Lena explains that she is actually looking for some for Isla. Since she is such a very cute customer, they recommend something childish, but Isla insists that she wants to buy cool clothes that make her look like a real adventurer. After buying them, they return to the guild. Meanwhile, Light is doing push-ups in the room. Even his fairy named Pixie is telling him to sleep. He refuses, so she takes him by force. Locked in the room, he stays there envying his partners, who must be receiving several praises for having defeated the evil dragon. Then he decides that he will go to the guild. The receptionist finds Lena's presence comforting. At a time like this, they must know as much information as possible about the dragon. But Lena also has her personal interests. She only accepted the invitation to discover the origin of Dreitna. Someone sent her to kill the Luxeria. Only the guild knew about the mission, so it is likely that the superiors who hired her are involved. The time arrives, and they enter the room, which is enormous. The subordinate states that the guests have arrived. The 4 secretaries who represent the 4 departments of the guild are present at the meeting. Flower Hat, Head of Investigation; Tiger Beard, Head of Security; the Gravedigger, Head of Finances; and finally the one responsible for maintaining order in the guild, the Head of Inspection, Holy Sister, who tells Lena that she did an excellent job at the former mansion of the King of the Hills. Honestly, Lena did not want to see her, but she is the one most suspected of having sent Dreitna. The receptionist explains to Isla that the Holy Sister is the most important person in the entire guild. She tries to make an evaluation, but she cannot analyze any ability coming from the Holy Sister. Before they begin, Lena would like to ask something. At the mansion they went to investigate, they were attacked by a woman called Dreitna. Therefore, she wants to know if anyone had any knowledge about this. All the superiors dodge the question, mainly the Holy Sister, stating that they need to find the dragon to deal with it immediately. Flower Hat sent a reconnaissance bird, but the dragon is no longer in the mansion. If they had a piece of its body, they could track its mana. Before leaving the mansion, Lena took something that may be useful. It is a scale from the dragon. With it, Flower Hat can find it, but Lena will only give the scale on one condition. She wants to see all the records related to Dratna. Everyone notices that she is very fearless. Flower Hat knows that in exchange for the scale, it costs nothing to let her have a look. The Holy Sister allows it, but that does not guarantee that Lena will find what she is looking for. In this case, the head of inspection already proceeds to the analysis. Isla evaluates that her ability allows her to see anything written on paper. She reads that 12 years ago in the capital of Aetna, a very curious city, a girl named Dratna Bellberry received the fruit of the ability. The assessment officer at that time was the Holy Sister. Lena realizes that the two have some connection, so she begins to question her. Unfortunately, the Holy Sister grants abilities to about 1,000 people per year, and she has no memory at all of what happened 12 years ago. Lena lost the argument, but at least she has a lead. The Luxeria did a perfect job in the mansion. However, their record will be erased. They question it without understanding. The Holy Sister explains that Grouse declared that Light was using violence and illegally stole Lena. The superiors find such attitudes unacceptable. Suddenly, Light arrives and says he only came to receive some compliments, but soon notices that the atmosphere is very heavy. He receives the news that the guild record will be erased because he violated rules. Light does not understand how they have the power to do this, but the receptionist explains that the Secretariat has the authority to intervene in any group considered rebellious. He does not care, registered or not in the guild. The three are the Luxeria. After using her divine ability to observe Light, the Holy Sister decides to give them a chance to redeem themselves. Her ability is still mysterious, and she gave them an S-rank monster hunting job. If they complete it, their records will not be erased. In addition to receiving generous payment, Lena asks why this sudden change. According to the Holy Sister, her determination touched her heart. Everyone around admires her compassion and mercy, while Lena knows that she is plotting something. Light, as always, does not care. He only thinks about earning money and increasing the group's reputation. So he accepts without thinking twice, determined to become an adventurer who will go down in history. Even if it may be a trap, he will manage to overcome it and will face anything that stands in his way, even if she is the supreme leader of the guild. After they receive the information about the monster, they realize that it seems very strong. Lena will not stop Light from accepting the job, but she wants him to keep in mind the Holy Sister's plans. Isla says she tried to discover her abilities, but she cannot. This has never happened before. Lena asks what is interfering with the appraisal, but she does not know. In any case, the Luxeria need to be prepared for everything. And suddenly the Gravedigger arrives, introducing himself. He says that weapons are not allowed in the meeting room, so Light will be fined 1,000 gold. That equals about 30 pizzas. Then Light tries to get around it by showing that the sword is broken. The Gravedigger removes the fine, but applies another of 5,000 gold because he broke a sword borrowed from the guild. He reveals to the receptionist that he has already broken 2 swords, so she will not be able to lend him any more. It is time to acquire his own, if he wants to raise his adventurer rank. She advises him to go to a forge and order a sword, an exclusive one adapted to the combat style and ability of the owner. He needs it to be sharp and resistant, enough to withstand the power of the god of the sword. Since he acquired the durability ability, he will become even stronger, and the next time he sees the evil dragon, he will be able to defeat it with his own hands. Making the sword will take a few days, so Lena is thinking of visiting Aetna in the meantime. Since she has a lead about Dratna, she needs to investigate, but only for a few days. Meanwhile, Isla will take care of Light. Light and Isla continue looking for workshops to make the sword. The guide explains that it will be difficult for Light to find one, since most workshops are connected to the Holy Sister. If there is any chance of someone doing the job, it is probably at the Bost workshop, on the west side of the city. The blacksmith of this weapon workshop possesses an exceptional ability, the legendary blacksmith Bost. At the moment he seems to be facing some problem, but Light ignores that part. Lena is worried about the two, while she leaves for Aetna. On the other hand, they are exploring the streets of the city. They can hardly wait to see a sword made by a legendary blacksmith. Suddenly a young woman runs by and bumps into them. Some idiots surround her to assault her. Light stops them, finding it completely ridiculous. 3 grown men teaming up to hit a lady. He draws his broken sword. With a single strike, he throws one of them far away. They run away and the young woman introduces herself as Monica, thanking them for the help. She finds Isla very cute and loves little children. In gratitude, she invites them to have tea with delicious pancakes. He politely refuses, since they are on their way to the boss workshop. Monica reveals that she works in this workshop, so she will take them there. Upon arriving, Light notices that the outside already looks impressive. He imagines the inside. Upon entering, they realize that there is no other blacksmith there. This means that Monica is the legendary blacksmith boss that the guide mentioned so much. She is happy that her reputation has attracted them, so she will show her best product, a frying pan with holes, perfect for pancakes. Then you can make whatever molds you want. The price is very high, so Light prefers to eat big pancakes with no shape at all. After it is in the stomach, the shape does not matter. Even though it is something innovative, nobody wants to buy it. She tried to sell it to those guys, but they thought it was a scam and attacked her. Light realizes that Monica does not know how to choose customers. Currently, she is selling more household items. A forge is not only for weapons. Light notices a hoe blade to cultivate many fruits that catches his attention. He does everything by hand, so Monica has an idea and will find a way to help him. While she prepares the equipment, Isla senses her power, called Super Forge. When she strikes the hammer on something, the ability allows her to create whatever she wants. Then she hands him a pair of scissors that fit perfectly in his hand. She promises that this cuts anything, so to test it, he will cut a piece of wood. Incredibly, Monica manages it, even without putting in any strength. She is truly a legendary blacksmith. When she was about to say the price, he asks her to make a sword for him and says he came for that. She says that it will not happen. Even though she is not aligned with the Holy Sister, Monica simply does not want to make swords anymore. She can make any other item he wants. When she saw that he had a broken sword and was looking for a blacksmith, she already knew what he wanted. Even so, she brought him to try to sell Monica's pan. She only wants to prove that she is useful as an artisan without needing to make swords. The guide said that this was a workshop specifically for weapons, but in fact there are two. The other is across the street and has the same name. Boss. They enter the workshop. The boss is called Evil, and he is Monica's father, who asks what she came there to do. She asks him to make a sword for Light, since she cannot do what the clients ask. She pushes them to the boss, who finds this ridiculous and tells her to go away and make frying pans. An argument begins and Light notices that the relationship between the two seems a bit difficult. She gives up and leaves. About Light's sword, the boss is already very busy with a huge order for next week. Light should try somewhere else. The two think about what they are going to do. Suddenly, a young apprentice of Monica's father appears. His name is Kame. He already knows Light from the battle with Grouse, a nameless rookie, and he flying with only a broom. Because of that, everyone who is in favor of the Holy Sister avoids him. Light asks why Monica has a separate workshop from her father. Kame explains that in the past she was also a blacksmith in their workshop. But 3 years ago, after she obtained the Super Forge ability, they became very famous in the city as the legendary blacksmiths of the Boss family. But half a year ago, a wagon of goods was attacked on the outskirts of the city. Monica's grandmother was in it and was unfortunately killed. The security secretariat arrested the culprits, and in one of the confiscated swords there was Monica's signature, even without any connection with the bandits. Her weapon was passed from hand to hand until it reached the robbers. Upon discovering this, Monica was completely devastated, so she hates swords and swore never to make them again. Suddenly, two men arrive asking where Boss Evil is. Their names are Zando, Black Swan, and Dog, his subordinate. Zando realizes that he has already seen Light somewhere, but he is interrupted by the boss, who asks what they want. He brings news that the weekly deliveries of weapons will be doubled. Kame thinks this is absurd. They barely handled the deliveries they are making now. Dog believes they will have to resort to his daughter if Evil cannot manage. Anyone would do anything to have that Super Forge ability. It would be possible to sell swords with cheap material, even if she does not want to. Zando can make her change her mind by force with his ability. This mission is very difficult, but Evil thinks he can do it and asks for the contract. Kame says that the Black Swan group is using Monica as blackmail to force them into these agreements. The boss is forced to accept in order to protect his daughter. He knows that she does not like making weapons because of what happened to her grandmother. That is why she left the workshop. Evil tells Light not to tell her what may happen. There is no need at all. He knows his life is selling weapons. That cannot be changed. Afterward, the two return to Monica's workshop. She thinks Light will ask for weapons again, but he only invites her to dinner. They go to a pizzeria. There Monica discovers Isla's ability. This power is very important. If this spreads, everyone will want her for work. Monica herself would love to have her in the workshop, but Isla's wish is to adventure while showing her loyalty to him. Even though they invited her, Monica offers to pay It is a great opportunity for Isla to order more pizza. She wants to thank them because Light saved her. Even though she cannot make weapons, she wants to make up for it in other ways. Besides that, she is very happy. It has been more than a year since she had any company to eat with. Light did not even hesitate and ordered about 5 pizzas when he discovered she would pay. Meanwhile, the Holy Sister thanks them for having come tonight. Soon she will need more weapons and wants them as soon as possible. Zando will carry out the orders and says that Light appeared in the artisans' district. The Black Swan have already taken measures and soon will be able to bring them. If necessary, they can use violence, as long as the Luxuria are captured. The Holy Sister does not care about the methods they will use and will send a spy to watch them. However, she wants Light to be brought alive. On the way home, Monica is stopped by Light, who kidnaps her. Light and Isla speak well of her, saying that she is a good person, even if she refuses to make a weapon. Suddenly Cain appears, saying that something terrible has happened, and they must come with him. A note attached to the workshop door said that if they want Monica back, Light must go alone to the underground arena. This arena is the base of the Black Swan group, very close to where they are, and Evil is furious. But Cain stops him so that he calms down. It will certainly be an ambush, and artisans like him have no chance at all against those warriors. This mission is Light's, who is willing to go alone. After waking up, Monica discovers that she is being used as bait. Dog explains that they only want to capture Light. When the Luxuria try to save her, after capturing him they will abuse her ability, making Monica forge weapons all her life. Light arrives, blowing open the door, thanking them for the invitation. The group releases a furious bull to fight him. The beast has already defeated countless duelists. Monica tells him to run away. The danger is enormous, but everyone falls asleep when he takes the pixie and they inhale a bit of her powder. Monica thanks him and feels in his debt once again. After they return to the workshop, Evil asks if she is hurt, but in truth she only inhaled a little of the sleep powder. Very soon she should wake up. The boss thanks Light, who takes Monica home, and Evil apologizes to him for having involved him in their problems. After this, he is cutting ties with the Black Swan. Even if this harms his workshop financially, it certainly is not worth more than her safety. Monica comes downstairs and asks her father if he is going to stop making weapons. The boss cannot stop, but he will look for a decent buyer. If he wants to keep the workshop open, he needs to manufacture weapons. And above all, he has managed the shop for 25 years, always proud of the competence and experience he possesses. She mutters that he is selfish, since his weapons can be used for evil. But she is still not feeling well enough to argue. Since it is late and Evil invites Light to sleep at the workshop as a way to thank him, Evil's wife, called Silica, will prepare a bath and a change of clothes for both of them. Isla is already sleeping while standing. In that case, he accepts the invitation with thanks. Silica accompanies them, and Light notices that the factory is quite large. All the employees affirm that they want to work there forever. Light asks if she also makes weapons, but her work is to prepare food for everyone, wash clothes, and take care of the children. Therefore, when her husband and Monica disagree, she stays out of it. That concerns the very essence of the artisan, and she does not interfere at all. But Light disagrees, since Monica speaks in the same way as her mother. So he is certain she has great influence and should be more confident. After that, Light finds Monica on the roof and asks if the sleeping powder has already left her body. She confirms and asks about Isla, who is already sleeping deeply. They said that when Light went to rescue her, Isla waited for them outside. She is a very kind girl. Monica shows her first knife that she made when she was a child. It was lost in a drawer in her room. Her father rarely praises anyone, but when he saw it, he said that she had great talent. That made her very happy. Even before acquiring any ability, she always had a knack for it. But when she obtained the ability, she thought she would be a blacksmith all her life. Seeing the dagger today, she realizes it turned out all crooked. Her father taught her everything about forging. She saw the workshop grow and accept more and more employees. In the past, for her, working at the forge was a sign of money and made many people happy. But after the incident with her grandmother, everything changed. However, by that point, she had already sent many swords out into the world, which is why she could no longer stay in the same workshop as her father. This became a great trauma for her. Monica asks if Light has ever killed anyone. He says yes, but they were only zombies. At first he thought he would not be able to, but he realized he needed to protect Isla. He makes it clear that he uses swords for good, but Monica's thoughts may be different. As a good adventurer, he eliminates all of his enemies. She is not sure if this is truly correct, but she likes when people fight to achieve their dreams. Dog wakes up imprisoned after the pixie's deep sleep. Zando asks if he slept well, and when he arrived he was already chained. His partner was humiliated. but he has already set up a plan. This time he will crush Light with his own hands. As soon as dawn breaks, his soldiers will attack. Isla wakes Light saying that breakfast is ready. He realizes that neither the boss nor the employees are at the table. Silica says that everyone is already in the workshop working. It is either that they wake up very early or Light sleeps too much. When he was about to sit in the chair, Monica's sister scolds him, saying that the chair is already reserved. Silica reveals that this is the chair Monica always uses. She rarely eats with everyone, but even so her sister keeps it. Then Silica asks Light to take breakfast to her room later. If it is not inconvenient, of course. She is probably thinking about eating with them. Light did not find her in the room, so he found her in the fields. She thanks him for bringing her breakfast, as she made everyone worried the previous day. She wanted to help a little to make up for it, but she does not feel comfortable entering the workshop, so she stayed gardening. This year's harvest was very small, but Light has the solution for this. He shows that he truly is the master of fruits, who can accelerate their growth. Monica does not understand how he made the black swan guys fall asleep, so Light reveals that he can eat all the fruits he wants thanks to his ability. She cannot believe it, since eating 2 ability fruits is fatal. Suddenly they hear a noise coming from the workshop. It is likely that the employees are subdued by Xando, who was prevented from entering, so he had to use brute force. After that he invites Light to a duel, confident that he will win together with his soldiers. Light tries to make Xando sleep as well, but his powers prevent it. He is going to annihilate both Light and the entire workshop. Ayla assesses the lightning summoning ability, which allows Xando to place lightning around himself or even shoot them. He is after Monica. Upon noticing this, Light asks Ayla to protect her. The door that Light destroyed in the hideout was very expensive, and he will pay for it. He would not have destroyed it if Xando had not kidnapped Monica. Even so, he only wants her to make weapons for him. High-quality weapons made with very cheap materials. With this ability, Monica could do an excellent job and make the Black Swan very rich. As a sign of disrespect, he puts the weapon on the floor and steps on it. She finds this ridiculous, since the workshop employees work hard to create them. Light orders him to stop that. Xando proposes that they surrender. In a way, he will not destroy anything else. But Light will not give up so easily. He picks up the sword thrown on the ground, since his own is broken. His rival mocks him, saying he will finish him. Xando's powers are very strong and end up making Light's life a bit difficult. Revenge for him will be fun and very painful. Light cannot predict the direction of the lightning orbs. Monica has an idea and asks Ayla to discover the material of the orbs. They are made of iron. She is not sure it will work, but she gives the frying pan she loves so much to Light. No, it is not for making pancakes. He must use it to trap the orbs. This frying pan has the power to attract iron. Xando is impressed. He did not know that her ability could do even that. But the frying pan conducts electricity and Xando uses this to electrocute Light. Even so, he thanks her for the help. Now he is already managing to predict the movement of the orbs. Light's sword is wearing down. She even considers making one for him, but her feelings prevent it. After being thrown, he asks Ayla to flee with Monica, and he will hold Xando off until the security department arrives. Since he is trying so hard to protect the two of them, Monica cannot run, so she only moves away to think of a plan. Meanwhile, Lena is in a carriage arriving at Blue Deer Station. The man explains that it is the last stop, since the horses cannot continue from that point. She will have to go on foot, as it is the time of the Athena Fairy Festival. The city is very busy. The man asks if she also came for the festival, but Lena is only looking for a person. Whatever happens, she will find Dratna. Returning to the battle, Light is pressing with his sword, so Xando feels entitled to use his own as well. But his is different. He uses lightning to create it. Even lightning, which has no shape, can be hard with his sword. But in a sword fight, Light trusts in his sword god. When trying to block Xando's sword, it goes through, because it is a blade that is both sword and lightning. Whether it is solid or not is Xando's choice. Even if this pushes the sword god to the limit, Light will face it. Besides having excellent abilities, Xando also practices martial arts. Light sees no weak point in him. He is stronger than anyone he has ever fought. But Light cannot lose and still has many chances to get back up. Light uses the power of wind to throw Xando far away, since he cannot hit him. But he returns saying he was only warming up. Throwing with wind is dirty play. But he was the one who forced Light to do that. This way the game is over. He will use his beast called Jubatus. His ability is much stronger than Light's. It has countless uses. Before the sword breaks, he needs to find a way to defeat this creature. But he cannot deal with both problems at once and ends up being knocked out by Xando's sword. Monica needs to rescue her father and the others as quickly as possible to make a sword for Light. The Holy Sister watches everything through her ability and realizes that everything is going according to her plan. In the workshop, the bosses are forced to stay silent until Xando returns. Ayla can see through the wall of loose bricks. Since there are guards at the door, Monica asks for a distraction while Ayla enters with the scissors. These scissors cut anything, including her rival's chains. But a man appears behind her. Monica manages to trap the henchmen by softening the bronze plates. Unintentionally, they step on them and end up stuck. She runs back to the workshop. Ayla has been captured, and if Monica moves, Dog will finish off her little friend. She uses a stone that, when thrown on the ground, lights up, blinding Dog. Her father takes the opportunity to restrain him. Ayla knew exactly what stone that was thanks to her appraisal. It is a shining stone that releases a strong light when it is struck. Even though she is a child, she must not be underestimated. Monica asks her father to let her use the workshop. Light is in an insane battle and urgently needs a sword, and Val lets her use it. His daughter is part of the workshop as well. In addition, he will help with his quick work skill to gain time. The Black Swan henchmen try to enter, but the workers are already blocking the door. They will show them what craftsmen are capable of doing. Everyone works together and Monica finds this atmosphere very nostalgic. She has not made a sword for half a year and does not know if she will succeed. But she certainly will not hesitate. Everyone admires her, and when she finishes they set out to help Light. He is already on the ground badly injured. Xando thinks it is useless to give him a sword now, but Light gets back up, showing that the battle is not over. He asks Ayla to throw a skill fruit, but it ends up falling right at Xando's feet, who thinks Light's ability is only the sleeping pixies, and for having lost the battle he must be wanting to kill himself. Light admits that his opponent is strong, but he will be an adventurer who will leave his mark on history. He will not be defeated in a little fight like this. To kill him at once, Xando rushes forward and forces him to eat the fruit. If he wants to surrender, he must tap the ground 3 times, but Light eats it, revealing that he can eat as many ability fruits as he wants. Since he is restored now, he can settle accounts with Xando, and he imagined that he would try to torture him by trying to shove the fruit into his mouth. Only a psychopath would do something like that, knowing it could kill him. Ayla appraises Light's new ability, calls it Torch, which allows him to ignite a flame in his hands or in anything he is holding. His opponent realizes that Light really managed to acquire a new ability. Now he understands the Holy Sister's interest in him. They notice the signal coming from the mirror. He did not expect that. Xando's orders were to take him alive, but he will risk everything to destroy him. He wraps the sword in flames that allow him to cut even lightning. Now finally the fight is evenly matched. Doggy appears willing to help, but Xando is already furious and orders them not to interfere. Light provokes him, calling his opponent just some mean villain. He will finish him with his own hands. The two summon beasts, a lightning demon and a beast of fire. Even though it is a very resistant sword, they wonder if it will really withstand the fire's temperature. Monica put her whole soul into this sword and hopes that everything goes well. Ayla believes in Light. He will certainly find a way through this. Moreover, he states that he will win the battle with the power of this sword, which must be used to protect the workshop. Face to face they clash against each other. The power is so great that everyone around them is almost blinded. After that the creatures are destroyed. Only the two remain. For having used too much of his power, Xando cannot endure it and faints. Light emerges victorious. Everyone is left speechless and his sword breaks again. He thanks Monica for making it, and later she will make another that adapts better to him. She becomes emotional and thanks him for the protection. Xando's henchmen still want to fight, but suddenly Tigerbeard, the security chief, appears, ordering the Black Swan to lower their weapons and tells his soldiers to arrest everyone for kidnapping, extortion, and disturbing the peace. The air chains make everyone unable to move. Tigerbeard explains that he was delayed because someone prevented the reports of the incident from reaching them. And Val says that it is no problem, and thanks to Light everything worked out. The security chief remembers him from when he was giving his opinion about the evil dragon. Light is very tired and falls asleep in his arms. Monica is relieved. Ayla asks what properties she had put into the sword, but it was nothing special. She only made the sword as strong and durable as possible. Even so, it broke. In any case, it worked. Ayla is fascinated by the countless abilities that exist in this world, as well as being full of mysteries. A messenger bird arrives and delivers a letter to her. It is a message from Lena saying that she is arriving in Athena. Monica knows her as the Sword Saint, who has recently become famous. She is in the same group as Light, a very reliable companion of Luxeria. Ayla sends a letter back to Lena saying that the Black Swan tried to kill them, and were probably under orders given in Athena. To find proof of this, she will embark on a mission to explore the capital of Athena. Up to now she has only one clue. A wing of Dratna, she arrives in the famous city of fairies and of the lake. An artist says that it is time for the traditional Athena Fairy Festival. Up until the fairy ball, 3 days from now, everyone must drink, sing, and celebrate, and welcome her. May the fairies bless her. Everyone seems to be having fun, but she has no time for celebrations. If the Holy Sister's secret is there, she may have sent someone to stop Lena, so she stays very alert. When approaching a family, she says she is investigating Dratna Belbury and asks if they have any information. They are shocked. They did not want to hear that cursed name on such a happy day. Everyone she asks has the same disgusted reaction. They get scared and refuse to talk to her. Lena notices a hooded person staring at her and goes after him thinking he may be an assassin sent by the Holy Sister. He enters an alley and suddenly appears behind her, grabbing her with his vine ability. But Lena manages to escape and finds his ability amazing. Surely if he were an adventurer he would be rank S. The man says that the Sword Saint does not disappoint and has great ability, but he cannot allow an amateur to walk around thinking she is a spy. She will prove she is not a beginner, but a young woman stops the two from continuing the battle. It is Flower Hat and her subordinate Ewan. Lena was asking questions around in such a beautiful way that they asked her to check the situation. She does not understand what the Information Bureau is doing in the city. Actually, they are also looking for Dratna. Flower Hat is not on the Holy Sister's side. She is independent. All she does is gather information. Finding Dratna is part of the process of stopping the evil dragon. Their only clue is the dragon scale and Dratna who was involved in summoning it. And Ewan makes it clear that stopping the evil dragon is something so urgent. If this threat suddenly appeared in a city, it would be a complete disaster. People would risk their lives. Clearly Lena has a personal issue with the Holy Sister, but the Bureau has the dragon as the top priority. Lena going around asking everyone who Dratna is will only make their work harder, so she must stop wandering around. Even so, she cannot return home empty-handed. She also has something to stop, so she insists on accompanying them, just like the Holy Sister. Flower Hat is also a bureau chief. It is a bit risky, but she is a specialist in investigation. The chief liked Lena's honesty when she said she was desperate for information, so she accepted her, but with a single condition. Lena must stay quiet and not talk about their methods, and Ewan asks her if this will really benefit them. Flower Hat knows it will, since Lena knows Dratna's face. Before they start, they will eat something. They arrive at a restaurant and Flower Hat orders 3 portions of fresh fish caught at night. Lena finds the order very strange, but in fact this is a code, and the employee notices it and opens the door for them. They go to the underground area, where an informant awaits them. They offer 20,000 in gold. This way the man will not worry about food for a few months and will live the life of a king. They only want to know the details about Dratna and her location. The man never thought anyone would want to know about that troublesome person. She is part of the Belbury family, which once had great prestige in this city, but the family fell into ruin because of her. Dratna loved dancing, but at 6 years old she gained an unwanted ability, necromancy. By coincidence, the family went through many hardships at that time. The businesses went to ruin and her mother died out of nowhere. There are rumors that her family was cursed. The father blamed his daughter's ability for all this and disowned her, hiding her in a country house. Since then the people hate her. No wonder the residents do not talk about her. Dratna's only ally is the Holy Sister, perhaps out of pity, since she was there when Dratna gained her ability. The Holy Sister exchanged letters with her and invited her to go to the Holy City and began to treat her as an unlucky child. Flower Hat asks where Dratna is now. A man reveals that she is in this city. Lena is in disbelief to learn that she escaped the mansion's collapse. The exact place where she is will cost a little extra money to know, and Ewan tries to convince him that the price already included knowing the exact location. But the informant insists he will not tell, so he is forced to resort to brute force. Lena tries to interfere. Flower Hat tells her to shut up. The one who broke the deal was him. Trying to take advantage of the investigation bureau was a mistake. The man cannot resist and says she is in the theater district preparing for the fairy dance. He could have said it earlier and avoided reaching this point. Lena is very kind. Valuable information does not fall from the sky, so from time to time she has to be firmer to get what she wants. Dratna is at home, and the butler asks if she is going out. she is allowed to take her walks. But in this condition, the injury may get worse. Dratna does not have time to rest. The Holy Sister gave her a chance and recommended her to be a dancer. She wants to be prepared to perform. In that case, he will prepare a carriage. And Juan explains that the fairies' dance is a sacred ritual performed on the last day of the fairy festival. 1,000 years ago, the fairy king protected this lake from an army of monsters. The ritual reenacts that dance and reinforces peace. They say that the fairy stone possesses a purifying power and is what protects the city from all monsters. Every year, daughters of important families are chosen as dancers, and if the performance is good, it has the power to raise the family's status. Dratna was chosen to be a dancer this year. Lena does not understand why she continues in this city, since they mistreat her so much. But that is what they will find out as soon as they infiltrate the place. The monsters finally arrive at the location, which is enormous, but they are stopped because nobody enters there without authorization. They take off their clothes, showing that they are dancers. While Yuan is a flutist, the guards cannot remember dancers like them. They say they were summoned at the last minute, chosen because they are very attractive. While the swords are only for the performance, their role is that of night fairies. Everything works out and they manage to get inside. Lena does not know how to dance like a dancer, so she will have to improvise somehow, and not even Yuan knows how to play instruments. The other dancers are frightened by the girl from the Bellberry family, with the unfortunate ability. Their father told them to stay away at all costs so that the curse would not be passed on. The three notice how Dratna is treated and wonder what she did to deserve this. Suddenly Lena finds her, and Dratna asks what they are doing there, and Yuan restrains her with his foot, while Hat is very direct, asking where the evil dragon is. Dratna does not know. Ever since it was summoned, it has never been under her control. In that case, Hat will take her to the holy city to apply tracking magic on her. But Dratna explains that she cannot be taken now because of the performance. Hat will have to wait 2 more days, but unfortunately they will not be able to wait until the ball, since the dragon poses a great risk. Since childhood she wanted to be a dancer, so she begs them to let her perform at least one dance. Lena emphasizes that they can wait 2 days, it is not much, but Hat does not listen, and Yuan restrains her more strongly. And Lena notices the wound on Dratna's leg, which was made on the day of the mansion. Hat knows that ignoring a threat just because one wants to be a dancer is selfishness. If she resists, she will pay the price. Hat does everything for information. This is her way of doing justice. Even with everything Dratna has already done, Lena does not think this kind of behavior is right. After freeing her, they try to escape. The two did not expect such foolishness from Lena, and she uses her ability to climb the roof. When Yuan goes after them, they have already disappeared. He apologizes to his chief for letting them escape. Hat is calm. She knows that Dratna will not leave the city until the festival ends and she can dance. They thought Lena was foolish, but in fact she is quite bold. After escaping, Dratna asks what Lena is doing. She has no idea. She just did what she thought was right. Meanwhile, the performer explains to a couple the legend of the lake stone. The legend says that a loyal servant of the fairy monarch is sealed inside it. For 1,000 years he has maintained peace in the lake of Aetna. The couple is enchanted by the glow and the magic of the stone at night. The fairies' dance is a ritual to comfort him, since he entered the world of the fairies and became its guardian. The story is beautiful, but if cracks begin to appear in the stone, the city would be in danger. He does not tell this to the couple. He only plays a song for them. Meanwhile, Light is doing more than 100 push-ups in his room. Pix interrupts him, and Isla says that he is already exhausted from fighting so much. He needs to rest at least a little. Since his wounds have already healed, he can no longer stay still. They will quickly take care of this rank's job. Besides that, he is sure that Alina is also working very hard. She will be fine. She is the saint of the sword. There is nothing to worry about. Even so, he wants to become strong in order to protect her and reach her level. Meanwhile, Monica is striving to create a decent sword that is perfect for Light, using her abilities to the fullest. Hat Flower sets all the birds she has to search for them. They see better at night than humans, but suddenly they return trembling with fear. She takes a flower from her hat, which withers instantly. This is terrible. Something is happening, and she uses her abilities to investigate, searching for the answer to all of this. Lena also notices dark clouds approaching the stone. After that, the two head to an empty house on the outskirts of the city. They can sleep there, since Dratna's family home, even in bad condition, serves to hide for 2 days, until the day of the fairy festival. Hat Flower is not going to go easy on them, and must already be sending reinforcements to help with the search. It will not take long until she discovers the place, so Dratna will ask the Holy Sister for help. As another head of the Secretariat, she should be able to resolve it. But before that, Lena wants to know the connection between the two and to explain why she attacked the king's mansion. Dratna realizes that Lena made her indebted so she would obey her, but that is not true. Lena saw Dratna and noticed that she did not seem like a bad person, even without knowing her deeply. She heard about her childhood in the city. She does not want to be helped out of pity, while Lena remembers her deeds. On the way, they are approached by two children, delighted with the dancers. It is late. It is not the time for two children to be on the street. But even so, during the festival they can stay awake all night. One of them asks if they are going to dance in the fairies' dance. They can hardly wait to see their performance. All the children in the city admire very much those who dance, but Dratna just wants to leave quickly. Suddenly the parents pull the children away from her so they will not catch the curse. It is always like this. An ability like the Saint of the Sword guarantees an easy life. Lena will never go through something similar. They are surprised by several monsters that attack the area. Lena rushes forward, cutting one of them. It is impossible for them to enter the city, since the power of the fairies' stone repels them. So something very strange is happening. Dratna uses her power to control a monster that was about to attack a child. Everyone realizes that she is fighting for the people. Lena saves the very cute little creature that was only trying to help. To put an end to the battle, Dratna uses her powers to summon all the corpses and create a creature to face the monster head-on. Lena's boldness is still going to get her killed. Even so, she risks herself to help everyone. Dratna thinks she can only say this because she is lucky to have a good ability. But Lena makes it clear that Dratna also saved lives. The two have never seen a little white creature like this. It probably got lost from its owner. The little creature is barking at the black mist. Suddenly a monster comes out from inside it. The city is in chaos. Everyone thinks it is the end. But Yuan destroys it easily. Since now they have bigger problems than Dratna's dance, they can help Hat Flower, who tells the citizens to flee to a safe place such as the cathedral, which is the largest structure in the city, equipped with a defense mechanism that can be used to create a barrier of light around it. Most monsters and attacks will not reach it. Dratna had no idea that the cathedral could do this, but Hat has a lot of knowledge and searched old documents, and she also arranged guards to take people there. If they manage to get everyone to the cathedral, they will be able to protect them. After everything, Hat would like to hear explanations about what they did in the theater, but they do not have time for that now and need to act quickly. The mist is increasing, gathering in the center of the lake, exactly where they are going. It is the most common thing on dates at Lake Etna to take a boat ride. The atmosphere is somewhat eerie, but the people like it. Meanwhile, the cathedral creates a barrier of light, and a person whom we had thought until now was a performer reveals himself to be a villain, who is waiting for Hat and her group to arrive. Evil watches Light, who continues his intense training. He brings more work tools, everything Monica needs to continue. She is trying too hard, since the sword she made broke in the battle against Xando. For Light to be able to adventure again, he needs a good sword. He is clearly already recovering. He spends the whole day running and tries very hard to reach his dreams. Evil knows that Monica and Light are very similar because of this. Isla is already tired, but he insists that he wants to become the strongest and the fastest in order to surpass his partner Lena. Hat Flower has finally understood what is happening. Someone used a reversal magic to make the stone stop repelling monsters and start attracting them, in addition to having opened several portals for monsters to be summoned. Therefore, her plan is to destroy the stone. Dratna knows that this is not a good decision, since it protects this place and has been revered for more than 1,000 years. Even so, it is the only way to prevent the mist from engulfing the entire area. She thought Dratna did not care about what might happen to the city, but in reality she truly does not care. The problem is that without the stone, the dancers lose their importance. The fairies' dance to which Dratna dedicated herself so much will no longer happen. However, for Hat there is no other way to save the city. If they cannot remove the stone, the monsters will keep appearing. Suddenly, they are surprised by the performer flying through the air. Destroying the stone on such a beautiful night is a terrible suggestion. They have finally arrived, exactly as the Holy Sister said. Hat asks if he is responsible for all of this. He confirms it, summoning a huge monster. It was probably he who opened the portals. Lena charges at the creature and tries to land a slash on the performer. But it was not really him, only a disguise. His name is Argus, a disciple born from vengeance. His mission is to exterminate species that commit sins and take back this land. That is why he summons so many demons, and everyone who interferes with his work will pay with their lives, including them. Hat realizes they need to destroy the fairy's stone as soon as possible. That will stop him from summoning more monsters, and Juan knows they are outnumbered, and mobility is limited because they are on the water. Dratna is the only one who can help. Suddenly, the little white creature creates a staircase made of crystal. Lena wonders what it is. Argus will not allow them to touch the fairy's stone, but Hatflower will distract him. Lena is worried, but Juan says it is not necessary. His chief is very skilled. Argus thinks that an investigation ability has no chance against him. What he does not know is that there are forbidden books in this world that grant secret techniques just by looking at them, in addition to very powerful books such as the famous Grimo Maja. Because they are extremely powerful books, they were sealed in the Holy City. There are 48 enormous books, and she can see each one of them, granting highly destructive powers. Argus's only chance is to throw more monsters at her, but she manages to trap them using electricity. Now it is their opportunity to destroy the stone, but the two hesitate, trying to find some other way. Hatflower says that this is not just an idea. Lena must choose for herself. At a time like this, Light would be able to find a way to please everyone, but unfortunately she is not capable. Before destroying the stone, Lena tells Dratna that the responsibility is entirely hers. She does not want Dratna to keep blaming Hatflower afterward. Argus did not expect them to destroy the same fairy's stone, so he summons the final monster, the evil dragon, which is very different from the last time. He attacks the city, but it is all right, since the citizens have already been evacuated. The group seems very powerless in the face of a power as overwhelming as the dragons. Argus says they will be destroyed along with the city. Dratna sees no chance of them defeating the creature, but Lena still has hope and asks her not to give up. They will protect the city together. Dratna hopes she is right. The citizens are being attacked. They pray that the cathedral endures and does not break. The fairy's stone should have protected them. A child says that everything is happening according to the book of the Fairy King. Once, long ago, the fairies and their familiar spirits defeated several evil monsters. His mother says that these are only tales. He must be a good boy and go back inside the cathedral. According to him, the savior will appear, and Juan takes advantage of the fact that Hat trapped the monsters and moves in to kill them. However, she is not going to hold back, since using the Grimo Maja so many times is exhausting her greatly, even though it is something very enjoyable. Argus is already out of breath because of her. He is causing chaos, and his dragon attacks the entire city. The only way to end this is by defeating that creature. All Lena needs is for Dratna to hold the dragon for at least 5 seconds. If she can get close, she can strike it with the sword. Dratna will allow the monsters of the states to fight once more, transforming them all into a giant kraken. Lena must keep in mind that she will only be able to hold it for a few seconds. After the kraken restrains the dragon, she slashes its neck. Argus only laughs at the situation, because the kraken's tentacles melt. Everything that touches it deteriorates. The dragon cannot be defeated by such a weak sword. That strike to the neck should have been fatal. Now, the destruction of this ridiculous city they call Athena will be a great spectacle. Hat reveals that he used an ability to possess the evil dragon, literally merging with Argus. Lena wants them to draw its attention somehow. While she goes to slash it again, the monster summoning and the black mists were not Argus's abilities. His only power is fusion. He notices that Hat is very clever for having figured all of this out. People like her must be eliminated first. It is time for her to die. The dragon spits at her, and she defends herself using fire magic. Anyone else in her place would have been annihilated by the great power of the dragon. Unfortunately, she cannot endure for long, so Yuan saves her. The two manage to dodge the attack and are now out of the battle. Now what remains is to cheer and trust in the two of them. Argo says that they have been left behind. There is nothing else to do. While Dratna uses the monsters to defend herself, Lena uses the endurance of the Holy Sword. She feels relieved that the dragon did not hit the city. The two of them are becoming more and more desperate, thinking about what they can do. The last time she tried, Lena was not able to land a single blow on the dragon. But now it is different. Argo cannot underestimate the Saint of the Sword. Even so, he mocks her, saying that she is weak. She charges forward to clash against the dragon's power. When she looks to the side, she sees a light. It seemed that Argo's creature had not entered her mind. Suddenly, she has several ancient visions of a people being saved. From outside, everyone watches as the dragon begins to be cut apart. The Saint of the Sword has evolved into the blessing of the fairies. The Holy Sister notices that something strange is happening. Dratna explains that when the disaster came to the lands, the king gave his beloved knights silver wings and purification swords, and everything is happening exactly like the legend of Athena about the king of the fairies. According to Argo, a new sword and little wings will make no difference at all. The evil dragon is the greatest of all demons. Inferior species will be totally destroyed, but she dodges the attack, leaving Argo jaw-dropped, completely dominating the beast. Her ability to fly and the speed of her techniques are incredible, exceeding the limit of the Holy Sword's ability. Hat needs to take a closer look. Do you want to discover the source of this power? It is time to use Yuan's vines. Even though she was exhausted just a short while ago, her desire for knowledge revived her. For Lena, flying is a very strange feeling, but she feels deeply connected, making the power flow as if it were part of her, as if someone were in her mind teaching her how to use it. While the sword is large but very light, perfect for hitting Argo in the face, Hat notices that the little white creature vanished. Argo cannot believe it. Combining the evil dragon with his possession was the perfect plan. His only option now is to ignore her and move on to the destruction of the people of Athena. Hat realizes that he is trying to destroy the cathedral barrier. The child is the only one who is not afraid. With her sword, Lena manages to cut the dragon's armored body. Argo's solution is to make it fire as many times as needed, but for Lena this ends right now. He cannot believe he will be defeated by a little girl, and the mist surrounding the dragon begins to disappear. After that, Dratna talks with a king who managed to grant powers to Lena, even with his stone broken. Argo is furious. Now he will have to tell everything he knows about what happened. He heard that Lena once belonged to the group called the Sacred Ones, led by the Holy Sister. And he wonders whether that saint knew that Lena's power would awaken so strongly. From the beginning he knew that she was hiding something, but only now did he realize that he was being used. He managed to escape with the black mist, dropping a talisman. Even so, they won, and Lena's body returned to normal. Soon, she realizes that the little creature was fighting at her side. The two of them are very injured, so Hat casts a bubble magic to heal them. She cannot allow two ladies to leave with scars. No wonder Hat is the head of the Secretariat. Her powers are diverse. Lena and Dratna did very well. She was right to bet on the two of them, and she made this bet with Yuan, who did not even cheer for them. He defends himself, saying it is a lie. Dratna thinks that Lena did everything, but clearly she would not have won alone, and she thanks her for having fought by her side. Light finally finished 100 sets. Isla appears with a basket full of pizzas. She thought he would already be finishing his training, so she brought dinner. He thanks her for the food and devours everything. She thought he would finally rest, but now that he is renewed, he will continue training. Just 100 more sets. That is what he always says. Monica remains busy making the sword. For her, it is never good enough. Her father laughs, saying that those who make many mistakes and dedicate more time to their work are the ones who make the best things, and he makes it clear that there is no way to make the best sword for someone, or the best sword of all, without knowing the heart of the one who will wield it. She knows this, and her goal is to make a sword for Light. She must not stay in this city without accompanying him. Lena tells Hat that the man unfortunately vanished. In fact, capturing him would provide much information, but she defended the city with all her strength, and that is already enough. Moreover, his name was Argus, and he dropped a talisman, a tool made in the ancient civilization of Zelen. Each design has an effect similar to an ability. They are very rare, and only a few remain in the world. The bat design is part of the mist ability and explains everything that happened. He used the power of the talisman to remove the purifying effect from the fairy stone. Then he used the mist to summon the monsters together with his evil dragon. It is incredible that Hat did not even need to consult a book to know all of this. Only her analysis is enough. Since she is the chief, she will keep the talisman for herself. The danger has already passed. The question that remains is how Lena managed to ask. She believes that the little one transformed into the wings and the sword. But this is very supernatural. Suddenly, the king emerges from the stone, the same one who was in the memories when Lena saw the light. He is the king of the fairies, called Obel. Hat cannot believe that 1,000 years later they are speaking with the king. It is a dream for any fan of ancient history. She asks all his hobbies, abilities, and his favorite food. Yuan thinks the questions are useless, but he answers. Dratna asks if it was he who gave the powers to Lena, but actually it was not. It was Cyrandoros, his unicorn sealed in the stone. When she gained the power, her mind was flooded with memories. The king and Cyrandoros were fighting side by side against the monsters. He reveals that after countless sacrifices, the fairies achieved a victory over those demons. However, in exchange for that victory, the earth was devastated. It was no longer suitable for any creature of the earth. Restoring it would take many years. To be able to maintain its regeneration, a life had to be placed inside the stone, that of Cyrandorus, who offered himself for this role, completely alone, for 1,000 years. Upon realizing the fate of the fairy stone and of himself, he sent a clone outside the stone, which is this little white one, who reacted to Lena's determination to protect the earth. He thanks the knight, who received his blessing, and her companions, for expelling the demons from this earth and for protecting his people. Cyrandorus must surely be very happy to have witnessed this ending. Now that he has fulfilled his duty, he will disappear. The last time the king saw this lake was 1,000 years ago. It is already sufficiently restored. Cyrandorus did an excellent job, the result of his dedication. In addition, for generations, people lived there and built a beautiful view. After so much time, they continue giving meaning to the battles they fought. As the guardians, like the king, begin to disappear, they leave the future in your hands. Before leaving, the king has a request. He wants to show Cyrandorus the dance of the fairies. Thus he will be able to go in peace, taking this good memory. It is not a good moment, since the theater and much of the city were destroyed. Even so, Dratna wants to dance. She thinks it is worth it. Lena wishes good luck, but she is also invited, since she is wearing appropriate clothing. She does not know any steps, but Dratna knows that it is enough to learn one sequence. After that it is only repetition of the movements. The citizens do not understand. Despite everything that happened, they are still going to dance. The instrumentalists begin to play and they dance. Hat uses her flowers to beautify the place. A lady says that Dratna is cursed, but her husband denies it, saying that she saved everyone. Besides being a wonderful dancer, Dratna steps down from the stage because she also wants to watch her. Finally, her dream is fulfilled. Dratna managed to dance. Everyone applauds her for the great performance. The king thanks the girl with red hair. It was a beautiful dance. According to Dratna, Lena was better than she expected. Finally, the clone of Cyrandorus will keep all his memories and will live a new life. Hat thinks this is incredible. He is a very valuable research object. In this new life, the king wants his unicorn to run freely through the fields and feel the wind. The fairy wing and the sword will become Lena's power. Since he was reborn, he now needs a new name. Lena calls him Cyrand, in honor of Cyrandorus. Finally, the king disappears, and Hat wishes she had asked him more questions. And Ewan knows that she could have asked something useful, instead of wanting to know his favorite food. Now she will stay there regretting it forever. Suddenly, Lena faints while the guard watches a beautiful sunset. Cyrand stayed by her side. After getting up, she meets Flower Hat and discovers that they are in the presidential suite of the hotel. Last night, she faced the evil dragon and became extremely tired. Because she used a tremendous power, it is natural that there are some side effects. A guard thanks her for having saved Aetna, saying that the Holy Sister has just offered weapons to the Night Watch team to reinforce security in the place. The Black Swan group arrived with a shipment today. Now that the fairy stone is gone, it is likely that monsters will begin to threaten the region. She finds it very strange that the Holy Sister is doing this. It is certainly not a simple favor. Even though news spreads quickly, Hat knows it is impossible to bring weapons from the Holy City to Aetna in less than a day, unless everything had already been prepared. In other words, the Holy Sister already knew that the fairy stone was broken. Apparently, things are more serious than Hat thought. Everyone thinks that the Holy Sister's ability is variation, but that is only officially. In the upper ranks of the guild, they say that her ability is related to the capacity to see the future, receiving revelations that come from the heavens. That is why she is called that. Everyone thinks she evaluates abilities, but in reality, she sees the future and guesses them. This information is highly confidential, but Hat thought it was right to reveal it. Everything that has been happening cannot be only coincidence. She must definitely have used precognition to make this happen. Lena's battle against the dragons is part of a terrible plan. Dratna does not want to accept that the Holy Sister is the villain, without realizing that she was used the entire time. In any case, she must go with Hat, who is going to investigate in another city. Just like Lena also has to go. Lena knows that since her ability acted within the sister's prediction, her efforts to get away from light are also part of it. She decides that she will go with Hat. She does not want her powers to continue being used by the Holy Sister. Dratna hesitates to go. She does not want to betray someone who always welcomed her. Even so, she thinks it is the best decision to make and accepts. Depending on the circumstances, things between Hat and the Holy Sister may become tense. When that happens, the two must decide on which side they will stand. Before leaving, Lena wants to help with the restoration of Athena. When she destroyed the fairy stone, she decided she would help them with something. Hat does not mind, because she wants a few days to rest. Besides that, Lena wants to get in touch with her companions from Luxuria. Oyla is making a pizza and finally managed to make the dough. Silica thanks her for the help. People eat too much. That is why Oyla is being very helpful. Light calls her. He was struggling to make his fire ability stronger. It seems he has recovered well. Suddenly, a blue sphere appears. Lena's voice is coming from it. It is a crab, a rare animal that can transmit voices. Lena says she is fine. While Light came to make a sword, he ended up fighting against Xando, a man with lightning powers, leader of the Black Swan. She is happy that both of them are fine. A lot has happened. Therefore, she will not be able to return yet. But as soon as she finishes her next objective, she promises she will come back. As for them, everything is fine. Light will find a way to deal with the next mission without her. The light begins to fade. Its duration has a limit. Lena promises that she will return and asks them to wait for her. They will take care of the S-rank job and wait for her to arrive. Meanwhile, the Holy Sister is looking at the events in Athena, which happened exactly as she expected. But now the Fruit Master must leave the stage immediately. He is the only one who has the power to hinder her plan and change fate. Finally, Monica finished Light's new sword, called Amuna. It is incredible, just as he expected. Since his coat was terrible as well, she made one. Even busy with rebuilding the workshop, she did all of this. Therefore, he thanks her deeply. Ival knows that without him the workshop would have completely collapsed, and they owe everything to him. They say goodbye and depart, but Monica goes after him. She was thinking of going with him after seeing him fight and finally realized that he uses the sword to do incredible things. And this is the shortest path to create an even better sword. Omura is only a prototype. She knows she can make something that takes even greater advantage of his abilities. Light accepts her into the group. They know that with her, it will be even more enjoyable. Ival knows there is no way to stop her. If she is with Light, everything will be fine. He will become the greatest adventurer in all of history.